Trump has played golf on 9 of his first 30 days of work. It's ridiculous.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
Trump and his buddy Elon, what a team. We got a and a tater in charge of everything.
In what may go down as the most chaotic week in the history of American tech moguldom, Elon Musk has taken his reputation for controversy, one chainsaw swing, one Trump partnership, and one late-night roast at a time. When Kimmel exposed Elon Musk's latest government power grab, things got messy. But was this just another late-night joke? Or did Kimmel reveal something far more concerning? Let's break it all down. At this point, Elon Musk isn't just a tech CEO. He's practically a comic book supervillain. At least, that's how Jimmy Kimmel sees it.
Ex-Luthor, Elon Musk, sent out a mass email over the weekend to all federal workers. The subject line was, "What did you do last week?" And then ordered them to list the top 5 things they did at work last week. It's like the government is being run by BuzzFeed.
So when Musk blasted a mass email to federal employees demanding they list their top 5 work accomplishments, Kimmel had the perfect nickname ready. Lex Luthor sent out a mass email. And let's be honest, it fits. A billionaire obsessed with control, enamored with flashy tech, and now, apparently staging a government takeover? If Musk ever shaves his head and buys a skyscraper with a giant M on it, it's game over. To some, he's a visionary, a tech genius driving humanity forward with unstoppable ambition. To others, he's a real-life Lex Luthor, wielding unchecked power in ways that could reshape society, for the worse. Love him or hate him, one thing's clear. Musk isn't just playing the game, he's rewriting the rules. But here's the best part, it wasn't just the email. Right before this, Musk showed up at the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, wielding a chainsaw. According to CNN, Musk stormed the stage, brandishing the chainsaw as a symbol of his plan to cut through government waste. "This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy," he declared, swinging it in the air. Picture it. A billionaire in a leather jacket standing at a political rally, waving a chainsaw while ranting about government inefficiency. If that's not peak Musk, what is? ABC News reports that Musk's proposed Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, aims to shrink the bloated federal workforce and slash red tape. But by Monday morning, CNN noted federal workers were still scrambling to figure out, was any of this even real? Some federal workers ignored Musk's email, assuming it was a phishing scam. Others scrambled to respond like their jobs depended on it. And honestly, maybe they weren't wrong. Because this wasn't just a productivity check-in, it came with an unspoken ultimatum. List your accomplishments or risk getting cut. So let's recap. Elon Musk, a billionaire with no full-time role in government, is now demanding federal employees justify their existence like an over-caffeinated BuzzFeed editor. At this rate, why stop at 5 tasks? Why not turn it into a full-blown personality quiz? Answer these questions to find out which federal agency you are. Take this quiz to see if you still have a job. According to NPR, agencies like Homeland Security, the Pentagon, and the State Department fired back with internal memos telling workers, ignore Musk's email. Forbes reports the White House ultimately left it up to each agency to decide, meaning the official response was basically, reply if you feel like it. So much for efficiency. Musk's big plan to streamline government, it's creating chaos. Critics say this isn't about cutting waste, it's a blatant power grab. Let's not forget, Musk, as head of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, now controls billions in federal contracts. Forbes reveals he's already locked in over $3 billion in new deals since taking the job. So when Musk, starts demanding workers prove their worth, it begs the question, is this really about fixing bureaucracy? Or is Musk testing how far his influence can go? And if Musk's the one demanding accountability, who's holding him accountable? Enter Jimmy Kimmel. He's not buying it. In his latest monologue, Kimmel roasted Musk and Trump as the most ridiculous duo to ever run the government, quipping, "Between the two of them, America is now being run by a dick and a tater." Hard to argue. For two guys obsessed with draining the swamp, they're sure comfortable burning taxpayer money like it's monopoly cash. Musk is out here demanding federal workers justify their jobs. Trump? He's spent $10.7 million in taxpayer money just to play golf. Yes, millions, to hit a tiny ball into a hole. And he's not exactly pacing himself. In his first 30 days back in office, he spent 9 of them golfing. So while Americans budget for eggs like they're luxury items and debate whether gas is worth a kidney, Trump's perfecting his short game. While most Americans struggle to get 9 vacation days a year, Donald Trump has spent nearly a third of his presidency golfing, racking up over 300 days on the course during his first term alone. Meanwhile, Elon Musk lectures government employees about proving their worth while simultaneously collecting billions in federal contracts, including $3 billion in new deals just this year. The irony is staggering. Federal workers face existential job threats while these two billionaires treat public funds like personal piggy banks. Trump's hypocrisy is particularly glaring. The man who built his political brand railing against government waste has billed taxpayers over $150 million for golf trips, with millions flowing directly into his own resorts. Musk plays the same game with better PR. His newly created Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, preaches fiscal responsibility while quietly signing record-breaking contracts benefiting his companies. The pattern is clear. Their version of cutting waste means diverting public money into their private interests. The audacity reaches new heights when Trump, who spends more time golfing than most CEOs spend working, accuses remote government employees of laziness. Or when Musk, whose companies survive on government subsidies, demands federal workers justify their existence. According to White House insiders, this hypocrisy is now institutionalized, with Musk actively advising Trump's administration on streamlining government operations, while his corporations cash ever larger checks from those same agencies. The ultimate irony? The businessmen lecturing Americans about productivity have built empires on taxpayer largesse while delivering questionable results. When Trump golfs at his own resorts on the public dime, or when Musk's Doge approves another billion-dollar SpaceX contract, who's really being played? The answer seems painfully obvious. It's always the taxpayers. This isn't about efficiency, it's about controlling the narrative. And surprise, the loudest critics of government bureaucracy are the ones gaming it best. Trump's golf outings and Musk's no-bid contracts reveal their real reform agenda, privatizing profits while socializing costs. The irony would be hilarious if it weren't so brazen. These former frenemies, Musk once called Trump divisive before quitting his advisory councils, have united under one sacred principle: rules are for other people. As Jimmy Kimmel deadpanned, it's like watching two guys loot a bank while lecturing the tellers about fiscal responsibility. Their performance is almost impressive. Trump, who averages 1.3 golf days per week in office, rails against lazy remote workers. Musk, whose companies survive on $15 billion in government subsidies, demands federal employees prove their worth. The projection is Olympic level. These human productivity memes have turned accountability into a shell game. Now they're eyeing America's vaults. When Trump recently vowed to inspect Fort Knox with Musk, allegedly to verify the gold reserves, it sounded like a bad heist movie pitch. By floating audits of the 147 million-ounce gold reserve, untouched since Eisenhower, they're not just courting QAnon voters, they're testing how far reality can bend to their narrative. The punchline? Fort Knox's gold was last physically audited in 1953 because, as the Treasury notes, you can't fake a 27-pound bar of bullion. Picture the scene. Musk's Tesla Cybertruck idling outside the vault, Trump declaring the gold missing before the cameras pan to Elon's suspiciously jingling pockets. What's chilling isn't their buffoonery, it's the pattern. Every absurd claim, stolen elections, empty vaults, serves the same goal: destabilizing public trust in institutions, while positioning themselves as the only fixers capable of running the show. As Senator Rand Paul cheerleads this gold audit circus, remember, when billionaires play detective with national treasures, someone's about to get robbed. The truth is, there's no solid proof that Fort Knox is missing any gold. Just last week, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed that the U.S. gold reserves remain intact, dismissing such claims as mere political theatrics. But that hasn't stopped Musk and Trump from acting as though they're on the brink of uncovering the world's greatest heist. The reason this joke works so well is that Musk actually has the power to make things happen. Despite being an unelected foreign-born billionaire, Musk now holds more influence over U.S. infrastructure than most politicians. His companies, SpaceX, Tesla, Starlink, and Neuralink, are all deeply integrated into federal programs, with billions of taxpayer dollars flowing into them. And now, Musk is joining forces with Trump to investigate America's gold reserves. Just think about that. Imagine if Musk tweeted that Fort Knox was empty. The gold market would collapse within hours. That's the kind of power he holds. So when Kimmel jokes about Musk and Trump walking into Fort Knox like they're about to rob the place, it's more than just humor. It's a genuinely disturbing possibility. Kimmel goes even further, pointing out something even more unsettling. Imagine this: a man who refused to release his financial records, and a billionaire who controls global satellite surveillance, social media data, and government contracts are now directly influencing national policy. This could be a plot for a dystopian film, but in reality, it's unfolding right before our eyes. Meanwhile, ordinary Americans are stuck hunting for Trump's tax returns, while Musk quietly accesses hard drives filled with sensitive data about millions of US citizens. And somehow, we're all expected to accept this? The idea of Trump and Musk heading to Fort Knox like two rich guys looking for a missing yacht is funny, but it's nearly believable. But if these two really think the gold is gone, should we be worried? And more importantly, if Musk is already influencing national security, what's stopping him from seizing even more control? Based on his latest stunt, nothing seems to be holding him back. Musk just stormed CPAC holding a chainsaw, and that's not even the most outrageous part. If you thought Trump and Musk's Fort Knox investigation was absurd, wait until you hear about Musk's next move. Nothing screams government reform quite like a billionaire storming a political stage, revving a chainsaw, and declaring his intention to cut bureaucracy. Yes, this actually happened. At the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, Musk walked onto the stage with a chainsaw, revved it up, and shouted, "Oh!" Apparently, symbolic speeches and policy proposals are outdated. Forget tax cuts and deregulation. Musk is out here recreating a scene from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But instead of running for their lives, his targets are government employees. And the best part? The crowd loved it. Republican leaders cheered him on, with one senator reportedly saying, "This is exactly what Washington needs." Meanwhile, security just let it happen. Kimmel had a field day with this, pointing out the sheer madness of it all. Let's be honest. If someone walked into your office wearing sunglasses and a leather jacket carrying a chainsaw, what would you do? You wouldn't hand them a microphone and ask for their views on government efficiency. But Musk? Not only is he allowed to do it, he's celebrated for it. This is the perfect metaphor for how Musk operates. While regular people are held accountable for their actions, Musk gets away with stunts that would land anyone else in jail. He can fire thousands of workers with a tweet, crash Tesla's stock with a meme, and now, apparently, wave a chainsaw at a major political event, and no one bats an eye. Because Musk isn't just a billionaire anymore, he's a political force, and that's what makes the chainsaw stunt so unsettling. It's not just a joke. Musk has been quietly increasing his influence in Washington, advising Trump's administration on cutting down unnecessary government agencies. While he calls for massive job cuts and restructuring, his own companies are benefiting from billions in government contracts. So who's truly benefiting from this chainsaw bureaucracy movement? Musk, of course. The American people? Not so much. The chainsaw incident wasn't just a performance at CPAC, it was a warning. A billionaire who already controls huge parts of US infrastructure, from internet access through Starlink to transportation via Tesla and SpaceX, is now directly shaping government policy. And that's why Kimmel's joke cuts so deep.
I have to say, I'm not even 100% sure he's human.
Honestly, at this point, it's a fair question. This guy tweets at 3 a.m., runs multiple billion-dollar companies, is deeply involved in politics, and still finds time to have more kids than Nick Cannon. Either Musk has been cloned, replaced by AI, or is actually an alien. Given that he owns a rocket company, we can't rule out any of those possibilities.